Hello there, gang, and welcome back to an episode of Borussia Dortmund. It's been a few days since we last did an episode of this, and part of the reason is I was going to record this video way earlier. I've been playing quite a lot of the Dortmund save. It's almost become sort of my fun save. It's kind of weird, and it's going remarkably well. Let's take you to the schedule screen, and you can see just how well it's been going. So the last time we met then, it was the Bayer Leverkusen game. It was a 2-0 victory in that one, and since then, things have gone rather well. If we do a little magical click. There we go. It wasn't for it. It was a poor click by my standards. You can see there then all of the results in full, and an unbeaten streak has approached us and is sticking with us for now. Very good form in the Champions League, 3 wins out of 3, and that one a very good win over PSG that we will touch upon. But the reason there's not been a video earlier is that I was playing the game waiting to lose, actually, thinking that as soon as we lost, I could make a video. But it's now been a good 10 or so games without defeat, so I figured we'd bring you the game against Augsburg. Maybe this is the one, because I wanted to demonstrate and highlight things that I didn't think we were doing particularly well, and doing that on the back of a defeat tends to make more sense than doing it on the back of a win. So right then, we've got Augsburg today. We're definitely going to play that, but I do want to talk through a few little bits and pieces that are interesting that are going on in the Bundesliga save that I've got going on right now. Now, the league table kind of tells its own story. There's a couple of really funny team situations. There's one really obvious thing that's happened, and it starts with Bayern Munich. Let's see just how they're getting on. So 8 games in for Bayern Munich. They've got a very strong side, not particularly hampered by injuries, a couple here and there, but not really suffering. And you can see from their schedule, they have had a tough time of it. Their pre-season was almost exemplary. They won the Super Cup, the German Super Cup. They had a fantastic first round in the German Cup as well, winning 13-0. And they started the Bundesliga off fantastically. And since then, my word, has it been disappointing. The next time we play them, hopefully I'll be on my next episode, will be Bayern Munich. Hopefully, I want to see how we get on against them after all the Champions League stuff is out of the way. But they've not won since, and they are really struggling, which makes for quite entertaining reading. Because from what I've known of the Bundesliga, having played FM in the last few years, the Bayern Munich tend to always win it quite a lot for a long time, and it's very difficult for anyone to best them. They're already way off the pace now, 13 points behind us, who lead the table, with Leverkusen just behind, and then there's a chasing pack. Now, the most interesting of the chasing pack, you might think, well, maybe Leverkusen, they're up there with you. No, if we go to this screen, Mainz for me, or Mainz, how you prefer to say it, are fascinating. 8 games played, 4 wins, 6 goals have been scored, only 1 goal conceded, with a goal difference of 5. Again, I'll show you their schedule so you can see it as it's happened. You're not getting, well, I say that, you're in the top 6, but you're not getting a lot of bang for your buck as a fan of Mainz this year. It's fascinating to see how a team with such a good defensive record is up there. They lost on the opening day of the season. The opening day of the season was weird. Everything seems to have, if you had a bad opening day, everything's gone great. If you had a good opening day, it's gone to pot. Apart from us, who have played really, really well so far this league campaign. You can see there are no defeats so far for us. A couple of draws in there against Mainz, who are very good defensively, it turns out. Very difficult game away from home. And I mentioned Gladbach as well, who are, decent, it's fair to say. So, let's get into this game today then, and focus a little bit on the thing I was talking about. Only the one game, so it gives me the opportunity to talk about things. Now, I mentioned it in my top 10 screens for Football Manager, but this is one of my favourite screens, as it hopefully will load for me now. It's everything flashed. Okay, we're good. They're generating mass report. Heavens above. We're good? We're good. If we take away the Champions League game, as that's not as important, and we'll take away the PSG game as well, you can see then, from the way we've been playing in the Bundesliga, things have been going rather well. Our heat map sort of says everything. But there's a few things that I'm not too happy with, and it's this sort of stat right here. Touches to goal ratio. We've disappointingly converted 221 touches into just 6 goals. 221 touches. That's a lot of touches, it must be said, in the opposition's area. And only 6 goals. You can see, again, long-range efforts. We're struggling a lot. We've scored just 1 of 30 attempted. Thomas Delaney loves them. Absolutely loves them. And you can see down the bottom as well, we've scored just 8 of our 43 shots attempted inside the penalty area. So as much as we're having long shots, we are having shots inside the area, especially in these games. I could probably up this, actually, by including those Champions League games, as I've now accidentally clicked onto a Champions League game. It's a similar story, though. Again, you can see that 12 of the 70 shots we've had, we've already scored 12 of the 70 shots, which, again, not great, is it? You look at how many shots we're having inside the area, only 12 shots from the 70. I feel like it could be a lot more. So we're creating chances, good chances, but not clear-cut enough to be converting from those chances. And that is an issue. So I'm hoping, with a few little tweaks here and there, we can maybe get that working. And interestingly, as we go into this game today, Timo Werner, who has been in fine goal-scoring form, 4 goals in 8 appearances, 7 in 12 overall, has looked pretty good. He's out injured for a short period with a twisted ankle. So it's going to be Paco Alcacer to come in and hopefully do the business. He's more of a finisher. He's not started a game for me this season, but with good finishing, composure, and off the ball, I'm expecting him to be that fox in the box type character. So let's see what he does then. Whether we play him as a poacher or pressing forward, that's something we need to talk about as well, really. System-wise, we're still using gegenpress. We've changed it ever so slightly. The gegenpress ordinarily in possession starts a lot narrower. We're playing it a lot wider, and we're just trying to see if we can get our wingers a little more involved. Final thing to show you, and we're covering a lot here, so hopefully you're keeping up, or you're managing to keep up. The problem is I've got at the moment is that if you look at the shots we're having compared to the goals, if I just put those two columns next to each other over that right-hand side, I'll zoom in a little bit. It doesn't really matter who's taking them necessarily, although as I say, Thomas Delaney is the 43 shots. Only 2 goals, and the conversion rates across the board not great. Timo Werner 39 shots, 7 goals, 4 goals from 37 for Marco Reus. That's the one I would really like to improve. You can see as you go down as well, there's not a massive amount of goals for the amount of shots we're having. Brun Larsen, who's been playing as a winger, hasn't got a goal yet. Gertz has only got 1 from his 9. Axel Witsel hasn't got 1 yet. Some of the midfielders, of course, taking longer shots. And Diallo has got a goal, 10 shots from him, mostly from corners. So we can sort of let him off. Centre-backs I'm not too worried about. But these wingers and such midfielders, we need a little bit more of a goal return. We've not got anyone in double figures quite yet, which is probably fair enough. I want to see a little bit more from Werner, but after 12 appearances, 7 ain't too bad. So chance creation is the name of the game, and if we can put them away. Now, I'm actually fascinated to see if Alcacer can be a big factor in us scoring more goals from inside the box. That's the sort of player he is. So let's get into this game today then and see if we can keep this unbeaten streak going. I don't know if you can tell, really enjoying this save. More than I know. I don't know, when I first started this save sort of came out of nowhere. There was never really a plan to do Dortmund, other than that Sports Interactive, when we went down, said, I would really like it if you did a German save. And I thought, well, I've always quite liked Dortmund, so we're going to give them a go. And obviously we get to use the gegenpress. So it's relatively similar to Liverpool. We're obviously using different tactics in both of those saves. But yeah, there's a joy from this save that I didn't think I'd get, that I definitely am getting. It helps when you're never losing either. All right, let's see how we do. We're going to watch it in 3D. I'm actually watching it in the sideline view. Let me know if you use 3D. I know lots of people quite like 2D. If you use 3D, what camera angle do you use to watch the games in? Or are you a 2D person? I'm interested to know what camera angles people are watching. Is it a behind camera view? What are you using? We've got a press conference here. Absence of Timo Werner. I said we'll look good in training. So we're prepared for this. We should be okay. We should be okay. That's the correct thing to say. All right, then as the boys walk out, then again, comment section, let me know what camera angle to use. We're going to go for the sideline view. I've been trying a few different ones, but I do quite like this one. We'll zoom in a little bit. You might hate it. I'm aware of that. We won't use it for every game, but I'm just going to use it for this one in particular to see how we work on chance creation. As Gertz goes on a lovely mazy run. We don't do enough of that either. We don't have enough players from midfield running at defences. I've changed a few little bits and pieces, a few instructions. He's playing as a playmaker, so I'm expecting him to do the work. I've realised I didn't run you through the team today. Probably should have done that. I did show you it though. We're sticking with this system. Toprak and Diallo will play at the back with this one. Schmelzer and Piszczek playing slightly different roles on either side actually, but working quite nicely. Berkey is the super keeper on attack, doing really well. We did welcome back recently Pulisic, but he's got injured and he's out again. So Brun Larsen keeps that spot on the right hand side. The midfield is interesting. We changed it around a little bit. Axel Witsel taking a break, played a lot of football so far this season. Didn't play against PSG actually, but we won that, and Fiegel's a pretty good replacement for that. So here we go. Then let's watch the rest of the game and see how things develop. I do like this camera angle though, because you really get to see how your team are operating shape-wise. I think that's my favourite thing about this. If you're analysing games, you do manage to do it a lot better. Now, in a strange statistic kind of way, viewers, if we lose this, I won't be hugely disappointed because I'll be allowed to analyse what happens. That might even be the next episode, depending on how long this video is. As they come forward early doors, as the challenge comes in. Great tackle. Now, this is where we seem to be the most dangerous. On the counter-attack, running at defences, at pace as well. That's a big part of our game. This is where we seem to be the most deadly. When we're given time to play possession-style football, we never seem to be quite as good, as you can see then. Now we're getting into this mould. Now, and see, as soon as we were forced there to start playing sort of tiki-taka possession, the attack fell apart, and that is a theme so far. It's just occurred to me that I'm on full match because I've been watching games in full match, so that wasn't much of a highlight, to be fair. But it was quite nice to see the example of what I'm talking about. Again, on the break, if we can do it quickly, this might be our best chance as it's smashed down that side. Max is going to get there first. So it plays back to the goalkeeper. Pressing that, don't quite get there. But again, they've lost the ball. Hopefully we react quickly. It's not overly quick, is it? But Goetze again carrying the ball. We saw it in the very early stages. Pulls it back to Bryn Larsen. Royce at the back post, and the goal goes in. A cross. Crossing's been a really big avenue for us to score from so far this season. We seem to be scoring more from crosses than I've ever done on Football Manager before. But it all starts with Goetze breaking the lines, not staying as central as before. There's lots of bodies in the centre as well. The ball goes in, headed on by Bryn Larsen. A great first-time volley from Royce, actually. The quality of him at the back post, perfect. And the best thing about Marco Royce, stayed injury-free. I may well have just jinxed it. They've given it away, and we could be breaking again. It's just happened. And it's going to be interesting to see again. At a tempo, we'll be able to do it. Because if you're playing this possession-based style now, as we've got a man over Piszczek, if the delivery can be good, it's not the best. I always feel like if we've got the ball... Sorry, again, if you're a viewer of my content for a long time, this sort of technical, tactical chat is not so... Hopefully you like it. I don't really do this. It's not so much in the Liverpool save. Essentially, what we find ourselves in, we have this triangle that play together all the time. As soon as there's sort of a lack of movement from our front three, it breaks down, and it seems to break down a lot. So that's why we end up having a long shot, because there's a lack of movement in the forward areas. Hence, we're playing a little wider now, rather than this narrow, compact style that we've already sort of got in the middle. It's interesting to see Goetze carrying the ball and running with it. That's what you need. At times in which no one's really moving around, you need someone to be prepared to take a player on. Mario Goetze seems to be pretty good at that. Anyway, let's keep watching and see if anything interesting develops. Again, the ball played forward. We don't see enough of that. And I've got to say, lovely touch from Alcacer there. As Thomas Delaney scored a long shot, I actually can't believe it. Something really interesting, though, again, going into this a bit more tactically, is that something that Alcacer did there is something Timo Werner never seems to do. Drops deep, collects the ball, passes it off. Delaney, you create a little bit of space. The shot isn't the best, to be honest. The keeper should maybe do better, but we'll take it. 2-0 up now, looking pretty good. I realise we're 2-0 up, I've done a lot of talking, and there's only 5 minutes gone. It's just quite nice to make a video about this and talk to people about it, because I've been sort of sat here all afternoon playing it, but I've not managed to tell anyone about it. Again, Goetze breaking the lines. Bryn Larsen, ball to the back post. Royce again. He's hit the crossbar. It falls back to the feet of a Dortmund player, but no, cleared this time and out towards Schmelzer. But decent from us. Corners have been pretty deadly. Ball played in. Diallo! And there it is. I told you. He gets a lot of shots. This is the most succinct episode I've ever done. Lovely crossfield delivery from Royce from the corner. Lovely stuff to that back post. Diallo coming in from the back post. And, well, actually, it was more central. The delivery was more central, but Diallo comes in from that back post and gets on it. Are we still on full match highlights? These are still key. 8 minutes gone. 3-0 to the good. This feels good, viewers. I'm not going to lie to you. I care more tactically about Football Manager this year than I ever have done before. There's something about the way they've set the game up this year that just makes it more interesting. As when we lose the ball, we seem to press, and that did actually bring Schmelzer slightly out of position, which isn't ideal, but it's part of the way we play. It's that as it was coined once by Jurgen Klopp, that heavy metal football style, as they've headed just over. Decent chance for them, though. But it all comes from our counter press. As soon as we lose it, trying to get it back, and Schmelzer, you can see, went with the ball there and left a little bit of a gap, and it eventually nearly got them a goal. And they've been fired up by the feedback. We're going to shout back, I think. I'm going to just encourage. They're frustrated by the feedback. Okay, there's two differing sides there. All right, everyone seems quite calm, though. The feedback, they've now forgotten the feedback, which is probably a good thing. All right, chance at the end of the half, and it looks like it might be going Augsburg's way as, well, a challenge has come in. It's going to VAR. We love a bit of VAR. We had it last time when we were with Dortmund, and there's more VAR. Okay, I think it probably, I don't know. Looking at it there, I wasn't too sure. Let's see what he decides then. We'll zoom out a little bit so we can see what he does. It was Goetz's challenge, apparently. What's it going to be? Is it a free kick penalty? I think that's what the decision's going to be based upon. As he calls for it, it's not a penalty. It's been decided. So what happens in this instance then? Because he's blown up there. Is it a dive? Oh, curious. Okay, not a penalty. Fair enough. We stay at 3-0 as we get to half time. So far, pretty good performance from the boys, playing really, really well. Good possession stats, great pass completion stats as well. Lovely to see. And their average rating right now, 7.29 across the board, is really good. Royce Delaney having superb performances. All right, passionately say, very happy with the way things are going. Keep it up, lads. And they quite like that as we go into this second half. I'm having a ball, viewers. I'm having an absolute ball. I think next episode we'll look at that Bayern game, because in terms of quality of player, they've got a lot. It'll be interesting to see if we can do it against them. I think in between that, actually, we do play PSG. We've beaten them once, and we did it pretty convincingly, actually. I think they had 1 shot on target in the whole game, whereas we had 18 shots overall, so we were quite dominant. As I'm looking at some injuries here, actually. Half an hour to go, and Piszczek has picked up a knock, and we've got players to bring on. So Hakimi is going to come on at right back, and Witsel is actually going to come on as well, I think, for Weigl in the centre. If my German pronunciations, by the way, aren't that good, I can only apologise. I'm trying, I'm trying to learn. Max on this side, played in. I zoomed out a little bit there because I couldn't quite see what was going on down the bottom, but a cross played in, and they've got themselves a goal. We've not conceded too many this season, so that is disappointing. Is it just a case of Max being really fast? I think it probably is. On this right side, Piszczek, he's suffering with an injury for a little bit. Maybe that's a factor. And Finn Bogason with the goal. Lovely for them. Not for me. All right, I'll make those changes then. Piszczek's come off then. Witsel on as well in the centre. It'll be interesting to see if they have much of an impact. We're going to stay on positive. Positive's the style I tend to play on. Balanced or positive is what I tend to go for. When we go attacking, for whatever reason, we seem too open at the back. So I try and avoid that as much as possible. As there's some possession play. Berkey to Diallo. And can we build it from the back? Again, it'll be interesting to see. Again, Alcacer drops deeper. That was really nice. Obviously, you're watching it. I don't need to pause it. But it's nice to see our strikers do that. That's what I want to see more of. Bring us staying a little wider. Gives Alcacer the opportunity to roam and sort of do as he pleases. As we're trying to work it, goes out to this right-hand side. Hakimi, can he put the ball into the centre? He can. It hits the post at the front post and cleared. It hits the post at the front post. All right, another highlight. What will we see this time? Goetze. This time he's got a little bit more room to manoeuvre. That's one of those long shots we don't really like. It just seems a bit needless. Is it because there's not enough movement in attacking areas? Answers on a postcard, to quote my friend Jack. All right, time looks as if it's going to be up, but a 3-1 away win is just what I ordered as a doctor. It makes sense. But yeah, good result. Happy with that. And yeah, another win. A very nice victory, folks. Well done. Let me know then. Again, camera angle. I am interested to see what you use. But equally, did you enjoy the way that this video is done? It's a little different. I'm talking about things a little bit more in depth. And the biggest reason for that is that I'm really enjoying it. So hopefully you are. This series is definitely going to continue. As I said before, not as frequent as the 5 PM uploads of the Liverpool series, but you'll be seeing these every so often. So if you enjoyed it, do leave a like. Want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you again later this week for some more. We love with care. From this until next time. Goodbye.